Hi everyone, welcome to class. We're going to do a little bit of everything today. I'm going to do some shoulder opening, some hip opening, a little bit hamstrings, and the theme of our practice today is called Empty Before You Begin. And this was inspired by a book I'm reading from one of my favorite teachers, T.S. Little. So I'm going to just share this little passage with you about emptying and emptiness before we begin our practice. So let me just grab some glasses here. All right. So he writes that emptiness lies at the heart of the great teaching of Buddhist practice. However, the term emptiness is mostly misconstrued, second only to the word enlightenment. People think emptiness is blankness, nothingness, nil. In fact, emptiness is closer to receptivity. When we are empty, we are receptive, available, impartial, broad-minded, tolerant. And I think that's a really key statement there for the times that we are living in. I feel like we are so full of everything that is going on, and our minds are so cluttered with all the distractions and the news and everything that's happening that we're not empty. So I'm going to read that statement again. When we are empty, we are receptive, available, impartial, broad-minded, and tolerant. So by emptying ourselves out, we can have a little bit more open-mindedness, right? When we empty out, we feel full, spacious, open, and unconfined. When awakened in heart and mind, we feel fulfilled by each small thing. The shape of a cloud in the sky, the morning text from a sibling, a shared meal, a hug. When we empty before we begin, we give back to the world. One of the oldest analogies for the mind in meditation is that of a mirror. When we discard our assumptions about things, we can reflect on things as they are. If we only see the world through the narrow lens of me, mine, and mine, then we fail to live a full and boundless life. So it's about having clarity, having wisdom, having discernment to kind of see things as they are rather than through this clouded lens of fullness and distraction. So we'll work a little bit on emptying out before we begin by coming down onto your backs, please. And we're going to start with a progressive relaxation. So progressive relaxation, we're going to be tensing and releasing particular muscle groups in an effort to empty out into the body before we begin our physical practice. So find your way down. Also, you may notice I have a new camera angle I'm trying out. I hope this one will work a little better. And also, I'm going to be skipping music for a little while. Copyright police are out there, so we're not really supposed to use music in these videos. Trying to work for solutions. So for now, we're going to not have music. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we'll come down just into like a shavasana, right? Maybe you want a pillow under your head or support under your knees if your low back feels tender. Otherwise, as best you can, pretty much flat on your back. And then we're going to start with the feet. So bring your awareness to your feet. We're going to take an inhale. Squeeze the feet, the toes, and as you exhale, slowly release. And visualize that as you exhale, you are emptying out through your feet. Let's do that 2 more rounds on the feet. Inhale, squeeze the feet. And then exhale slowly out. Relax and empty out through your feet. One more time. Inhale, squeeze the toes. And if you get any cramping, just do it less. Don't go so hard on the feet. And then exhale, empty out. Let's repeat that with the legs. So squeeze the legs, the hips, the glutes on your inhale. Exhale slowly, releasing every muscle. Empty out through your legs. 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze the legs. Exhale, softly, slowly let it go. 1 more time. Squeeze the legs, the hips, the glutes, and empty out as you exhale. Good. Let's try the belly area. So inhale, squeeze into your belly, and then exhale, empty out. Slow exhale. 2 more times into the belly. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, soften. 1 more time. You should get a good tightening, and then feel the contrast. We're creating contrast in our brain between engaging and releasing. Now hands and arms. Squeeze hands, arms, shoulders. And then exhale, open the palms, relax everything. 2 more times with arms and hands, shoulders. Squeeze as you inhale. Exhale, open the palms, slowly release. 1 more time. Squeeze. Contract just the arms, shoulders, hands. See if you can isolate. And then relax. Do that with your face. So squeeze, make a lemon face as you inhale. And then exhale, relax your face. 2 more times with the face. Squeeze, clench your jaw, wrinkle the forehead, and then soften and exhale. 1 more time with the face. And soften. Now the whole body, maybe there's some parts that we missed. So squeeze arms, legs, belly, shoulders, chest, face, and soften. 2 more like that. Squeeze the whole body, create tension intentionally, and then empty out as you exhale. Empty your whole body. 1 more time. Squeeze it all in, contract. And then let it all go. Take 3 more breaths on your back. And imagine with every exhale releasing into the ground. Letting go, softening. And I like to imagine everything kind of draining out of my body into the ground. Anything that's kind of amping up my nervous system, anything that feels toxic or limited in belief, just let it all release. Okay, let's bend the knees. We'll do a little hip practice, a little hamstring practice. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, coming into a figure 4 shape. And then we're gonna have a little flex to that right foot. And then from here, go ahead and pick that foot up off the ground. And if you want, you can clasp behind with your hands, or if that's challenging, use a strap here. So I forgot to tell you what props we need. We will need blocks. You might need a strap, some of you, for this exercise here in particular. And then a blanket or 2 would be helpful for under your head or under your knees in particular poses. Okay, so from here we're going to press our ankle and our thigh together. And then imagine a string on your inner right leg pulling it to the right. So allow that right knee to draw to the right a bit. And that hip open. Let the tailbone be heavy, shoulders heavy, so you feel a little curve in your lower back. And then if you can maintain that, go ahead and slowly straighten the left leg. Keep the foot flexing. And then rebend. Bring that foot down. Give a little squeeze to your hamstring muscle. And then slowly straighten it back out. One more time. Squeeze down. And then slowly re-extend, keeping that foot flexed. Now, keep the cross of ankle to knee, and you can release the arms for a moment. Now, you can stay here with the arms relaxed. You can also stay with that leg bent, totally up to you. Or some of you could use a strap or your hands and catch this foot. So I'm going to just grab a strap. I forgot to bring one over here, because it makes it more accessible when we have that strap. So I'm going to show it with the strap. Okay. So now that's an arm extender for me. My arms are short. I can catch the foot, but if I catch the foot, I've got to lift my hips and my shoulders enough that I feel rounded in my back. So I would prefer if you don't do that, don't strain to get the foot and round your back. Instead, use an arm extender. All right, so we'll hold here for a few breaths. Inhale, exhale. Now this time, inhale, feel the chest open. And as you exhale, bend the elbows toward the sides, lift your chest, and you can now take a little bit of a rounded spine as you come into more of a forward fold on your back. So we're still working for spinal extension, but there might be a little bit of rounding. Keep the chest lengthening. And then we're going to release. Okay, bring the foot down, uncross, and let's try the other side. So now left ankle crosses over. Lift that foot and hold behind the back of your thigh. Again, you can use a strap threaded behind your thigh if you need it. So I'm just going to leave my strap here for the second part. Draw the shoulders and tailbone down so you feel a little curve in your back. Flex both feet. And as long as you can maintain that little curve in your lower back, go ahead and start to straighten and bend. And as you bend, give a squeeze to your hamstring. Just get some blood flow in there when we activate the muscle. And also, it creates a little bit of resistance as we straighten the leg after we have that squeeze, which is considered more of an active range of motion, really healthy for our hamstrings. And then hold it here. And you can either just stay with your arms out and just work on that for a bit, or you can start to deepen, taking that strap around the foot, and then holding for a few breaths, pressing ankle and knee in together, drawing that left knee toward the left side. Same actions. And then you can stay here or take an inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, then start to pull the elbows to the side. The leg draws towards you. Keep trying to lengthen through your spine even as you come into this forward fold. And just come to your capacity here. I may not go as far as I'm going, that's okay. And then we're going to slowly release. And then you can set your strap to the side and do a little windshield wiper of your legs. Go ahead and do that windshield wiper 2 more times. Just going to check where we're at here. Okay, so we're going to now release that, roll over to one side, and we're going to come on up into a seated position. And we're going to work a little shoulders now. So all of this will make sense later as we put some of these things together in different poses. So we're going to work on opening the front of the shoulder and the chest by bringing the hands together behind our back with our fists touching. Okay? So bring your fists behind your back, and you want them somewhere around the top of your sacrum. Press the fists together and then pull the shoulder heads back. Use your fists to draw the tailbone down, lift the chest, lift the crown of the head, and breathe here. 2 more breaths. Good, and then we'll slowly release and just roll the shoulder heads out a little bit. Good. Okay, so we're going to go to stage 2. Now we're going to bring the fingertips together, and we're going to have the fingertips pointing up toward the head. So you're going to bring the hands behind you and have just your fingertips touching, turning up. If that's too much, turn them down. If you can, turn them up and press the fingertips together. Open wide through the elbows, open wide through the shoulders, and just take a few breaths there. I'm just going to move some of this clutter out of the way. Okay. One more breath cycle here. The fingertips pressing, opening the shoulders. That may be challenging on your wrist, so if it is, keep your fingers pointing down. Now go ahead and release and just shake it out a little bit. Release your wrists. Eventually you'd want those palms to start to come together behind your back, but we're working kind of preliminary here in the warm-up. Eventually you might be able to do that. All right, so from here, we're going to come into a seated position on our heels. So it'll look like this. And if this is challenging for you, go ahead, grab a block or two and sit on the block. If that's still challenging, you could come back to sitting cross-legged. Okay, so now we're going to do the fists again. So bring your fists behind you to touch. Pull your tailbone down, lift your chest, open your shoulders, and breathe. We're going to add in a forward fold this time. So you can do it in Sukhasana, seated cross-legged, or you can do it here in this Virasana position. So inhale. As you exhale, slowly empty, keeping the shoulders back, chin slightly tucked, and you'll come down as far as you like. And then as you inhale, extend through the chest and come back up and use your hands to pull your sacrum and tailbone back down. Now some of you might wish to have a block here in front of you, and then you could bring your forehead to that block. So let's try again. Inhale, pull the tailbone down, lift the chest up. And now exhale, hinge forward. Try to keep the shoulders back and bring your forehead down to the block. And then as you inhale, start to press down into your shins, pull the sacrum back down, tailbone back down, and we'll come back up. Good. Now release that, shake it out a little bit. Trying it now, you can repeat that if that was enough, or let's go to fingertips. Let's start with fingertips pointing down, just to make it a little more gentle. And bring them up so that they're kind of right above your sacrum if you can. Elbows back, pin that sacrum down, lift the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep the elbows and the shoulders back. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Now if you feel like that block is stopping you and you could go further, you could lower the block or lose the block altogether. So I'm going to take it out of the way. We're going to do 2 more rounds. This time, fingertips up. You can always stop where it felt right for you. So fists worked best, or fingers down worked best. Stick with it. Maybe body's not quite ready for the next stage, and that's okay. Otherwise, fingertips turn up. Press the fingertips together, elbows back, chest up. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Coming only as far as it feels good to you. And then inhale, coming up. So my seat does leave the block a little bit as I fold forward. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. And then inhale all the way up. Release your hands, shake them out. And actually, let's turn the fingertips so that the palms are up, and give a little counter stretch. So the tops of my hands are on the ground gently. And then release that, and we're going to progress. We're going to now stand up onto our knees. So stand up onto your knees, and here's where you might wish to have a blanket underneath the knees. And we're going to do a similar thing here, but now we're up higher. Choose your position. Fists, fingers down, fingers up. Okay, I'm going to go fingers up, but feel free to do what works for you. Pull the tailbone down, lift the chest, elbows back, shoulders back. Inhale here. Maybe a little back bend, like a baby camel pose. And then exhale, hinge, and fold down. Any amount, so it might not come as far now, that's okay. Inhale, lift up, little back bend. Exhale, hinge, and fold. And now release the hands, inhale, stretch up, interlace your palms, press the palms up, stretch through the arms, stretch through the hands. One more breath. And then slowly release. All right, let's come into downward facing dog from here. I'm going to take my blanket off of the mat. Make sure that you have your 2 blocks nearby. I'm going to have them at the top of the mat. We will need them later. Okay, so from tabletop, you'd want to walk your hands forward a few inches. Really plug into your finger pads, your thumb and index finger, tuck your toes, lift up, and we're going to have a bent knee down dog. So bent knee down dog helps me lengthen my spine, and I'm not going to get my heels down. For some people, when heels go down, the back rounds, but I want more of a slope in your spine here. So tip your sit bones up, push forward with your hands, and lift your heels high off the ground for this one. And now really keeping those arms strong, firm them in without locking your elbow, pedal one knee and the other. And now come into stillness, have an inhale, exhale, empty out. And we'll walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Squeeze your belly to empty all the way out. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your shoulder heads. Exhale, squeeze your belly, fold forward. Last time, inhale, halfway lift. This time we're going to stay here. Have a little bend in your knees, and then reach your arms back behind you. Reach through your fingertips, lift your shoulder heads, and let's turn the palms to face the ground. Tuck your chin, reach the head forward. And now if you can, interlace your hands and reach the palms back without locking your elbows. And then on your next exhale, fold. Empty out. Pull the belly in, let your head empty toward the ground. And then next inhale, bend the knees, release the arms. We're going to stand all the way up and then release your arms down. Okay, so trying to make sure that I'm not getting cut out of the picture. I think we're okay. I apologize that maybe at times you won't be able to see the arms. I think that'll be okay. All right, so standing in your mountain pose, couple of half sun salutations. So I'm just going to face forward for this. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, squeeze the belly. Inhale, rise all the way up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, squeeze that belly in, and then inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, so full sun salutations from here. So I'm gonna go back to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift those shoulder heads. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose, top of a push-up, and push into the floor enough that you feel a little bit rounded in your upper back, but keep your tailbone in, chest forward, heels back. And then option to drop knees as you lower all the way down. Tops of the feet flat, shoulder heads back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. All right, let's have a few breaths here. Find that nice high dog. Lift those heels high. Tip the sit bones up, up, up. So you feel like your chest and spine spill out of your pelvis. One more breath. And then on your next exhale, walk your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. One more time through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Plant your hands, step back to your plank pose, top of a push-up. You can lower to your belly or come halfway chaturanga. Up dog if you like. Straighten the arms, lift the chest, lift the thighs. Down dog. Hold here for one breath. And then big inhale as you exhale, bend your knees, step or lightly jump. Top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, let's stay in mountain pose for a few breaths. Standing up nice and tall. Feel the feet on the ground. And take an inhale. And as you exhale, slow exhale, imagining all of your weight settling into the lower body, into your ground. So we can think of this like an hourglass. So we're inhaling, and the top of the hourglass allows that sand to come down, down, down. So the bottom half of the body feels nice and heavy, the upper body feels nice and light. One more breath like that. Okay, so keeping nice and grounded through that lower body, take your hands in those fists behind your back again. Anchor the tailbone down, lift the chest, shoulder heads back. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, hinge forward. Now keep those shoulder heads lifting, elbows lifting, tuck your chin, and start to reach your tailbone and your head away from each other. Keep a little bit of that upper spine drawing into your body. Now you might stay there, you might start to fold a little deeper. See if you can tip your sit bones up like we did in down dog, so that your chest and spine spill out of the pelvis. And then bend your knees, anchor, pull the tailbone down, and lift all the way up. All right, release that, roll your shoulders out. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, step back, plank pose. You can always go right to dog if you're not doing a vinyasa practice. And then lower either halfway or to the belly, cobra, or an up dog. Down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Step through, warrior one. Spin the back heel down. So if you're not a vinyasa person, you don't like all that weight bearing, feel free to take a step forward in all of these poses. Skip the vinyasa and do it from standing, totally fine. Okay, hands at your heart. Press the palms together, lift the chest. Really anchor the back thigh back, root into your back heel. Keep that leg solid and strong. Lift the front of your pelvis. And now take those fists behind your back. Press the fists together, elbows back, shoulders back. Deepen into your front knee and then hinge forward. Bring your belly just to your thigh. Keep your shoulders back. Tuck the chin. Root down into both feet. And then inhale. Come up. Release your arms. Stretch up. And release. Downward facing dog. Your option is to take a vinyasa. Stay in your dog. Take a child's pose. Or come back to Tadasana and you'll step forward for the other side. Those of you who take the vinyasa, back to dog, and then inhale left leg, step forward, warrior one. So inhale the arms up initially, and then just bring the hands onto the hips for a moment. Anchor this back thigh back, root into that back heel. Bend deeper into your front knee and lift the front of your pelvis. Now let's go for fingertips. Fingertips down on the small of your back. Elbows back, shoulders back. Keep that as you inhale, a little back bend. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep those shoulder heads lifting. Tuck your chin. Anchor into both feet. And then inhale, come up. And release your arms, warrior one. Hands down, step back, down dog. Take the vinyasa if you like. Always take a child's pose or go right back to dog. Or come back to standing. And we're going to continue on. All right. Inhale your right leg up. Step through to a lunge. And we're going to drop the back knee. Grab your blocks. Put the blocks underneath your shoulders, and we're going to straighten this front leg. As you straighten the leg, be mindful of not jamming your knee down. Keep a little micro bend. Firm your hips in towards center. Push down into your front heel and spread your toes out. You can stay here or walk the blocks a little forward. Inhale, lifting your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Now some of you can lose those blocks. Bring the hands to the floor, that's fine. With every exhale, feel this emptying out, pulling in through your navel, maybe a little pelvic floor. Empty out through the crown of your head. One more breath. And then from here, bend back into that front knee. Grab your blocks again. Lift your chest, tuck your back toes, and lift up into a lunge. Now we're going to keep the front hip squeezing in, chest reaching forward. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, slowly straighten the front leg. Lift the front toes. Tip your pelvis back. And now repeating that little rocking motion. Foot down, inhale, little arch, lift up. Try not to drop into this back leg too much. And then exhale, peel the toes up. And a little fold, tipping your sit bones back. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Now, stay with it, just bring the toes flat. So now both legs are still straight. The back heel is up. We're squeezing the hips in, reaching the chest forward. hold here, another breath. Empty out on the exhale. And then we're going to drop into that back knee again and step back, coming into the kneeling position. Inhale, reach your arms up. Flip the palms, stretch up tall, lengthen your spine, and then interlace your hands behind your back. Good. Roll the shoulder heads back. Try not to lock your elbows. Baby back bend, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Head comes to the ground. Maybe lift the hips, roll to the crown of the head. And then release. Coming back up, hands to the blocks. Step the left foot forward. Coming into your lunge. And then we're going to straighten that front leg, do side 2. Press down into the front heel, spread your toes. Try not to lock into your knee joint. You can stay right here, or inhale, little back bend, exhale, fold. Lowering those blocks if you like, or losing the blocks if you like. Tipping your sit bones back, chest forward. Every exhale, nice complete exhale, draw the belly in. Good. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna check something. Okay, still recording. Looked like it wasn't recording. All right. One more breath here. And then we're going to bend into that front knee again. Grab your blocks. And then we're going to lift that back knee up. Coming to a lunge. And then inhale, bending into the front knee. Little back bend, lift your chest. Exhale, shift back. You're going to peel those toes off the ground, pressing into the heel. And now repeat, bend the knee, inhale forward. Resist the back heel back and keep the back thigh lifting. And release. One more, bend. Stretch the inseams of your legs and then come back. Now stay here, let the toes come down. Ball the foot down. Inhale, extend through your spine. Hold here. Hug the outer hips in. One more breath. And then bend into your front knee. Drop that back knee. Step back. And we're coming into the kneeling position. Inhale, reach your arms up. Flip the palms. Get length through the side body. Hold here, one more breath. And then interlace your hands, the opposite thumb on top, the awkward way. Open the chest as you inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Option to roll to the crown of your head. Release and sit back up. Good. Downward facing dog as you are ready. Hold it here, another breath. And then next inhale, right leg straight up. Step through, warrior 1. Inhale, reach the arms all the way out and up. Good. From here, interlace your hands behind your back. Open into that little back bend and hinge forward. Now belly can go to thigh or inside for humble warrior. Pull your right hip in and back. Lift the shoulder head, spring your neck. And then release, bring your hands to your blocks. Step your back foot in, and now we're going to straighten both legs. Hug your inner thighs together. Send the inner thighs back and apart. Reach your heart forward, lifting your chest. Good. Really squeeze into those legs, root into your feet, and see if you can fly the arms back behind you. Now let's turn the palms down so we can lift those shoulder heads. Squeeze the legs, maybe the arms come out to the sides. and then hands back to the blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge, folding. So now my belly is coming toward my thigh. Hands can stay on blocks. Some of you hands to the floor, depending on your body here. You might need arm extenders. And then as you fold forward, find a little back bend first, and then a little tuck of your chin. And let the forehead come toward your shin. Keep the front hip squeezing in. Try not to let it float out to the side. You might turn your palms, fingers back. Empty with every exhale. Now slowly walk forward, bend into your front knee, drop the back knee, step back. Inhale, up onto your knees, reach the arms up, interlace, stretch high. Good, and then release your hands, fingertips point down, flat on your lower back, elbows back, little baby camel pose. So keep the hips forward rather than shifting back. Chest lifting, heart lifting, back of the neck long. And slowly coming up, release your hands down. We'll meet in down dog. Optional vinyasa if you'd like to take one. That's always there. I'm not going to take so many vinyasas. It gets hard to keep talking and vinyasing at the same time. But you can do that if you wish. Okay, other side. Inhale, left leg, step forward, spin your back heel down, arms reach, warrior one. Anchor into that back leg, back heel, and now let's interlace the awkward way, opposite thumb on top. It's gonna feel funky. Elbows back, shoulders back. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, bending into that front knee, belly towards your thigh, or folding inside. And then maybe the arms reach up behind you. Lift the shoulder heads. Empty through the crown of your head. And then release. Hands to your blocks. Step the back foot in a few inches and straighten both legs. Good. We want a nice long spine here. Send your inner thighs back, but hug the hips in towards center. Next, inhale, find a little more length, little back bend. Spine moves in. And then exhale, start to lay your belly over your thigh. And here's where we could lower the blocks. Oh, I forgot to do something. Sorry, come back up. Gotta get this little challenge in here. Really anchor into your feet and your legs. Squeeze in, take your arms back, palms up. Lift the shoulder heads. This is just to get you to really work your legs and your back. Arms out to the side. Lift the shoulder heads. Now release. Okay. So now inhale, lengthen, and fold. Belly drapes onto the thigh. You can lower or lose your blocks. Tuck your chin so the forehead starts to come in and the crown of the head can empty toward the ground. Maybe the palms flip back. Hold here. And then walk your hands forward, bend into that knee, step back into the kneeling position. Inhale, reach your arms up. And release, hands back behind you. This time turn your palms forward like mountain pose. Start to open your collarbones. Start with a tuck toe if you know you can reach your toes. If not, you're going to have a block set. And we'll come into more of a camel shape. So you can have hands to blocks or heels as you're ready. So first, palms up, open your chest, lift your chest, and then come back. Hands onto the heels. Move your pelvis forward. Feel like you're moving your hips forward, your pelvis forward, even your heart a little bit forward, but then lift it up. Back of the neck long, squeeze into the outer hips, firming in, and release. Slowly coming up, and then you could sit back on your heels for a moment or take a child's pose. Remember, we always have options with these poses. Take the modifications as needed. We're going to cycle through that one more time, and then we're done with the standing work. So as you're ready, down dog. One more time here. Inhale, right leg up. Step through, warrior one. Reach your arms out and up. Interlace your hands, open your heart, fold forward. Outer hip hugs in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Step the back foot in. Now, straighten both legs. Firm the hips in. Tone your belly. Tailbone down. And now we're going to choose the arm position. You can continue to put your hands on blocks. You can do fists. You can do fingertips down. You can do fingertips up. Or maybe even your palms are ready to sneak up your back and press towards each other. Either way, keep your tailbone down, little back bend, open your heart. And then exhale, hinging forward. And you can stay halfway, or you can keep those hips squeezing in and fold forward. Keep pressing those palms in. Lifting the shoulder heads, squeezing the legs in. And now everyone release your hands down to the ground. Step back, down dog. Or you can go through standing. You can take a vinyasa if you like. I'm going to hold dog. You can take a child's pose if you wish. And now we'll do side two. Inhale, left leg up, step through, warrior one. Reach the arms up on the inhale. Awkward interlace. Open the heart and then hinge and fold, humble warrior. Inhale, back up, release the arms. Hands to your hips. Step in a little bit. Straighten both legs. So you want to have balance from right to left, front to back. So adjust so you feel very steady. Firm the legs, tone the belly. And then choose your arm position. Doesn't have to be the same. Maybe you did version one on one side, maybe you can go deeper on side two. Shoulder heads back. Root into the feet and hug the knees, hug the hips in. Inhale here, little back bend. Exhale, coming forward. Making sure there's a slight bend in that front knee. Try not to jam it. You can stay halfway working this or fold. Chin tucks, inner thighs go back, and we empty through the crown of the head. Let the neck go. Tip the sit bones up like we did in down dog. And then release your hands down. Step back, down dog. Last vinyasa, we're all going to meet in child's pose, so take a little moment to rest. So we'll take about 3-4 more breaths there. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. We're going to do a few finishing poses on the ground. And then we'll bring things to a close. Okay. I just spilled water all over. That's not good. I'm going to get that after I finish class. Okay, so coming into a seated position from your child's pose. And I'm going to face forward. We're going to try a few rounds of boat pose. Pull back on your backs of your legs and draw your shoulder heads back. Lift your chest. You're on your sit bones. Now when we come into boat pose, we're going to shift back toward the back of our sit bones. Lift the chest again. And then see if you can bring those feet off the floor and bring them parallel to the ground. And then maybe stretch your arms forward. Work on lifting your chest. One more breath. Modified boat, and then feet together, knees apart. So we'll just take a moment to stretch out those inner thighs, stretch out the hips. Keep the chest lifted for now. Okay, trying that again. We're going to do some modifications, or variations, let's say. I'm going to go sideways now so you can see a little better what I'm doing. Hands behind you. Cross, let's do right ankle over left knee, just like we did on our backs. Press in your hands, lift your chest, shoulder heads back. And we're going to lift up into a reverse tabletop. Lift your hips, looking up, and then coming down. And now we're going to pick that leg up, like boat pose. Now, you might not be able to lift it all the way up, that's okay. See if you can hold however you can, lift your chest, lift that leg up, draw your spine in any amount, and then release. Okay, let's try the other side. Left ankle crosses, press down into your hands, lift your chest, and then when you're ready, launch up into that reverse tabletop. Lift the hips about as high as your knee, push in your arms, tone the triceps, gaze up, and then release, hips down. And then from here, reach that leg forward. Lift your chest, maybe those arms can reach forward. Maybe you're going to hold on to that foot, and then release. Okay. Grab your strap. We're going to try that again, like we did on our backs, now with the strap. So right ankle crosses over left knee, and you're going to have that strap around your foot, and see if you can now lift it up. Walk your hands as close to your foot as you can. Pull on the strap to pull your chest forward. Lift through the crown of your head, flex your feet, push your foot into the strap. One more breath. Maybe bend the elbows and pull it in a little closer. And then release. Good. Let's try the other side. Left ankle crosses. Strap around the foot and lean back. Bring that leg up, up, up. This one I can almost grab the foot. So see what you can do. Flex both feet. Now pull on the strap to draw your spine into your body. Lift through the crown of your head and push your foot into the strap. Hold here. Stand through the inner left knee. And release. All right. So coming now back into one more down angle. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, hinge and fold forward. So we'll take a few breath cycles here. Let's take 3 more breaths. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly come up. Use your hands to draw your knees up. And then we're going to come on to your back. So we finished all the hard work. We're going to do meditation after Shavasana. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter Shavasana, so we have time for meditation. So first, just go ahead and come onto your back. And remind yourself to empty. So as you get down here on the earth, empty now all of your effort. So in the yoga teachings, we always do our best effort, right? We apply our effort continuously over time. We practice, we practice, we practice some more. But ultimately, we let go of the results, right? We don't get attached to the results. We don't get attached to how we think our practice is going to go. So here's where we can just empty out, after all of that effort, let go of all the work we just did, and allow the yoga to work its magic on us without any attachment to what we feel the outcome should be. So take a few breaths here. Inhale fully. And then a slow exhale, letting all of the effort release into the ground. Do that 2 more cycles. Inhale fully. And then a super soft, slow exhale out. And you can do through your nose or your mouth. 1 more cycle. And now just staying there, releasing deeply into the ground. Fully letting go of all effort in your whole body. And as you drop in, when I come up, you can stay where you are. As you drop in, I want you to just feel like you're also emptying out through your mind. Empty out through your mind. Let go of thoughts. Let go of labels. Let go of judgments of your practice, of yourself. Let the mind be spacious. Let the body feel spacious. I'm going to read that one passage from T.S. again as you rest here. When we are empty, we are receptive, available, impartial, broad-minded, and tolerant. Paradoxically, emptiness is fullness. When we empty out, we feel full, spacious, open, and unconfined. So allow yourself to have that sense of feeling unconfined. Releasing fully into the earth. Let's take just a couple more moments in your Shavasana. So if you need more time on your back and you're really fatigued, you can always do the meditation on your back. However, if you wish to come up to seated, you're going to start to gently reawaken, move a little bit through fingers and toes, and eventually come over to your right side. So if you need a stretch or knee hug, do whatever you need to, taking your time. And when you get over to your right side, have a pause there. A couple of breath cycles. And then taking your time, coming up to a seated posture as you are ready, and taking whatever props you need so you can sit for a few minutes. So I'm on a folded blanket. You could be on a bolster, a cushion, whatever you've got. You could also change your leg position if you need to. We're going to take a hand position, a mudra today called the Shunya Mudra. So Shunya Mudra is the mudra of emptiness. So you're going to fold your middle finger down and use your thumb to pin it in place. Okay? And then let that rest down onto your legs. Close your eyes or find a steady gazing point. So this is the mudra of emptiness. It can help us find relief from hearing problems, motion sickness, vertigo, numbness in the body. And this is also a mudra associated with our nervous system. So those of us who have the Vata dominance, a little bit too much air and space, this is going to help bring that into balance. And then meditating on the emptiness, the receptivity in the mind and body. So as you continue to hold that, I'm going to share one more little meditation. This is from Jillian Pransky, called the Hourglass Meditation. So this is relating to some of the things we talked about earlier with this feeling of draining that sand downward. So this is a simple technique that uses visualization, breathing, tension release to help you feel more grounded. Take a few long exhales and notice where your body meets the support of the ground. Bring to mind the image of an hourglass that was just turned upside down, emptying sand from the top to the bottom. So your body is that hourglass. And allowing the sand to drain out of your upper body into your lower body, and we'll do this over 3 breaths. So take an inhale. Exhale, let all of the heaviness empty from your head, neck, and shoulders. Pause and enjoy your inhale. Exhale, feel the solidity draining from your shoulders and your chest into your belly. And then let your inhale expand your torso. Exhale, allow all of the sandiness to leave your belly and flow down into your pelvis, legs, and feet. Feel your seat expanding into its outline, as if that sand could spread wider. And let your body land on the ground completely. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And notice the feeling of your breath under your hands, in your belly and your heart. And for the next few minutes, allow yourself to stay grounded as your breath flows in and out of your body. You will repeatedly be pulled away from your breath. Each time you drift away, don't make a big deal. Simply invite your attention back to the breath. Feeling that heavy quality through the lower body, the lightness and spaciousness in the upper body. Receptive, so we can be more open-minded and tolerant. All right, let's begin to close here now. Bring your hands together in front of your heart space. Have a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bow your head to meet your heart. Who's in your practice? All right, thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. And if you're interested in any of the books that I read from, the first one is The Practice is the Path by T.S. Little, one of my favorite teachers. I hope to be doing some more studies with him soon. And then Jillian Pransky, Deep Listening is where the meditation was from. Lots of other great meditations in this book. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.